The girl in the mirror looked nothing like me. There was no way that my reflection was showing Leah Todd, who was a gawky, awkward nerd. This was a woman with curves. She had cleavage, for goodness sake. 2 great big boobs squeezed together and pushed up under her chin by a corset. I didn't have boobs like that. A lacy black choker suspended a ruby in the shockingly deep valley between those breasts. The corset cinched her waist into an hourglass shape, exaggerating the flare of her hips. A tiny plaid skirt barely covered her jiggly thighs. I twisted to peek at this stranger's butt and found that the skirt was not doing the job that I expected skirts to do. The globes of this woman's ass were hanging out just as much as her knockers. Reflection Woman was voluptuous, sexy, and showing off everything that would have made my mother faint from horror. That woman in the mirror wasn't Leah Todd. She wasn't me. "No way," I said. "I'm not wearing this in public." I twisted my arms behind me to try to unlace the corset. Chad slapped my hands away. "You look fabulous. Stop obsessing." He attacked my hair with a brush, and I jerked away from him. Ouch! My best friend gave me a horribly offended look. "You're not going out with your hair like that. Let me fix you." "I'm not going out like this at all. My mom would kill me." "Felicia is in North Carolina, which is like hundreds of miles away. She can't kill you if she doesn't see what you're doing." He winked at me, and if she figured it out, it would take a while for an assassin to get here anyway. "But this isn't me, Chad." "This is the you that has been screaming to get out for years," Chad said. It was easy for him to be so relaxed about this. He had already gotten dressed for the concert without struggling with any angst or guilt, and he looked fantastic. Nothing new there, of course. Chad always looked fantastic. He wore a see-through mesh shirt that showed off his pierced nipples, six-pack abs, and the dramatic V of his muscular hips. The leather pants looked like they'd been painted onto his body. His eyes were encircled in dramatic eyeshadow, and the glitter in his hair sparkled every time he moved the tiniest bit. We were a matching pair, Chad and me, gothed out and glamorous. I still couldn't help but try to smother my cleavage with my hands, hiding it from my own eyes. It didn't work. There was too much boobage going on. Chad shoved my hands away again. "Stop that. Don't you trust my sense of style?" "Yes," I said reluctantly. "Mostly." My friend was only Chad during the day. At night, he was Twilight Destiny, a 6.5-foot tall drag queen in go-go boots with incredible makeup and the kind of sparkly dresses that I could only ever dream of pulling off. He was an amazing singer, too. He'd started getting invited to a lot of clubs to perform, and even had a regular gig at the Leather Strap. If fabulosity and rainbows could be distilled into a single human being, the result would have been Chad. He was everything I would never be, no matter how hard he attempted to transform me. It didn't help that I couldn't fit into his drag wardrobe. He was tall and skinny, and I was a couple inches over 5 feet and more than a few pounds over my doctor-recommended weight. I've got at least 2 or 3 rolls on my back, but I can't say exactly how many because I make it a habit not to look in the mirror. My thighs could probably crush skulls if I tried hard enough. Not that I would, mind you, because nobody gets between my legs ever. Not for skull crushing, and not for more enjoyable activities. Yet Chad was still trying to squeeze me into his clothing. On my short figure, his underbust corset was long enough to cover my breasts, but there was a 3-inch gap on my back where it laced. Everyone would be able to see my squishy back. And my butt. And my thighs, and— "No," I insisted, ducking away from the hairbrush again. "Help me get this off." Chad caught my hands and held them in his. His fingernails were painted to sparkly perfection. "Lee." "Chad," I said, mimicking his serious tone. "You're gorgeous. You need to show off your gorgeousness. It's a community service." A nervous giggle escaped me. "But I'm fat." "You're right. You're fat. You're also gorgeous and doing the world a disservice by hiding your perfect knockers. Anyway, you'll embarrass me at the concert if I let you dress yourself. You don't want to embarrass me, do you?" He didn't give me a chance to answer. "So, the boobs are coming out to play whether you like it or not."